Oh, dude, no doubt. I feel like the award show is way the hell too long. Like, no Cam Dagoon. Oh man, I don't want to see anybody doing that in my stream. Hell no. No, the only one that can do that is DB Wild, and he's not even here. He's not even here to do that, so he no gooning allowed at all. Didn't understand the point of some of the awards odd titles. Yeah, no, that's honestly that's the way these award shows go, unfortunately. It just is a sad reality that a lot of these awards are basically I mean the whole part of the award show that's the circle jerk, the you know, the feel good, everybody gets a prize or a trophy. That's like the games for impact crap. That's why I have him on the stream, because he decided to sleep in here in my wife's chair for once, and so this is my big boy right here. He's about 13 or 14 pounds, I think. Hang on a sec. Oh, and he's just the coolest cat because he just doesn't give a shit. I mean, he's just the coolest guy. Didn't quite understand. Stream is C, no cam, yeah. Chat's blocking the cat. Well, you wanted the chat, man, so you got chat. Hang on, I'll move this for a second. There. This is the massive cat with his massive belly. His sister's half his size. His sister is tiny. She's a little thing, and then he is this gigantic thing. You didn't see the actual awards? Well, we'll go over the actual award winners. There's only a few that really matter. But I've got most of the really cool trailers brought up. I've got, you know, all the trailers that I think matter. Games for political points. That's basically all it is. That's basically what it really is. Yeah, no, he's fun. He's a big guy. He's a pain in the ass because he just decides he's going to do whatever he wants, and then I tell him to like get off the counter or stop, you know, knocking stuff over. He's just screaming the whole time, but that's just how he is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get this put back where it belongs. We'll switch screens. Hope you guys are having a good night. I know it's been kind of a long-ass award show. The week wrote, yeah. But I got through it, actually. I listened to most of it either at work, on the way home, and then while I was helping cook dinner tonight. So there were a few trailers I was actually excited about. You know, Lucia, before I moved, I actually tried doing the pet cam when I still had the setup in the apartment. And so if you remember, I had a cat tree behind me where once in a while the cat would sleep. And then I had a secondary camera that I was using that I would try to use for, like, you know, maybe angling for like the pet bed or whatever. And they were never in the right place at the right time. The cats, the dog, none of them ever cooperate. It's not like we didn't already know about the Capcom games. Yeah. There's a lot of the games that we already knew something about. People figured out the thing about Divinity before the game reveal actually got released. But the thing is, there are some really cool titles that I'm excited about, things that I wasn't aware of that were on the horizon. So we'll go through all of it. If I were to give the Game Awards a grade, I would give it a C. Because in general, the Game Awards side of it is cringe. Most of the awards are stupid, like Susanna was saying. They don't really have a point in existing. But there were some really good ones. Yeah, ask Hassan how to keep them in place. Yeah, I'm going to start zapping this guy. The thing is, he's so fat, he wouldn't even feel it. Like, this dude, he wouldn't feel a damn thing. Oh my god, he's grabbing my arm now. Yo, Tucker, I need to have my arm back, buddy. The Warhammer 40k one looked interesting. In fact, I'll probably have to grab the trailer for that because I don't think I've got that one pulled up. Show is less games and more other stuff. Yeah. Oh, how do you feel like... I'm curious about that. How do you feel that he disrespected his dad? Let me ask you that. Because I briefly caught him mentioning that his father had passed away and said that they left an empty chair for him. But I'm not sure what else was said. So that's interesting that had an effect on you. Okay, let me switch to the other screen, and I'm going to work on... I know Equilibrium had said last time he wanted the chat where it's visible, so I went ahead and put this here. I'm trying to figure out which side to trim off, though. Where is the most... We'll go with... most up-to-date is there, so hang on a second, guys. Let me stretch this guy out. I want it about yay big. And then we'll just hide it behind the camera. One sec. Where did I put that? We're getting there. I promise we're getting there. Don't worry. I've got so many sources open on here. Holy crap, that's crazy. There we go. Now, if anybody's on Kick, you can actually see what they say. Although Kick chat's not coming through it tonight, it looks like. So I'm not sure what to do about that. Screw Kick. Kick sucks. Have to make an extended screen to have it on the side. I'm just gonna have it right there where you can see it for now. That's why I moved the camera up. He's throwing a pity party using his dad to prop the show up. Used his house in the same argument like his dad was close to being his property in his view. Oh, okay. Kick peeps in the house. Yeah, but is it even showing up? Oh yeah, okay, it's showing up now. There we go. I thought Yote was game of the year. Hey, door girl. Not even close. In fact, it's pretty funny. Yote got completely destroyed. Although Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 didn't win anything either. And I think they got robbed on RPG of the year. Yeah, no, Susano, I don't like using personal tragedy in any context. Like, once in a while, I'll mention some sad thing that happened in my life, but in general, I don't like doing that in any context when it comes to using it for, I don't know, a conversation piece, clicks, clout, whatever, you know? It's also that he has a job, money's still living fine, yeah. The Dorito King. Is that what they call him? Is he the Dorito King, or is that me? Because I'm the Frito King. I love Fritos more than any other chip alive. All right, so all the Game Awards 2025 winners revealed. I wonder if I can move this. I wonder if, hang on, maybe I should do this. I wonder if I should shrink this down. No, it's fine. You guys can just work with this, I guess. I don't know. I could put the chat on the, no, hang on. Let's swap this. I could put this over here. I could move me back down. Nah, I don't like that. We'll just go with this for now. If they could give Expedition 33 Sport Game of the Year too, they would. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, Keely surrounded by Doritos and stuff. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no. But the thing is, most people who have money and wealth are out of touch with the average person. That's not, uncommon for most people. It's unfortunate. All right. All the Game Awards 2025 winners revealed, including Game of the Year. I'm pretty sure you all already know Expedition 33 wins Game of the Year. Okay, so we're not even going to bury the lead on this one. Other games up for contention were Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. And guys, the music is really quiet. I just have like the soundtrack for Expedition 33 in the background. If you guys want me to turn it off, let me know. I've got it super low, so I don't think it'd be disruptive, but I'm not hearing it right this second, so. Has a Know Your Meme page of him being the Dorito Pope. Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. So it pisses him off. I don't have any real bills. Also, probably just annoyed I wasted time watching it. To be fair, time is precious no matter who you are. So, of course, Death Stranding 2 was up for. I don't understand how Donkey Kong Bonanza was freaking up for Game of the Year. Was the game really that good? Or is it just because they had to have a Nintendo game on there? I'm surprised they didn't have Mario Kart World. That's the one I'm surprised by. Didn't Ark get multiplayer Game of the Year? Yes, it certainly did, and it absolutely deserved it. Shroud, the streamer, he was trying to push for Ark Raiders to get Game of the Year. No, it got multiplayer of the year, and it absolutely deserved it. I'm sorry, the green tea is making me burp, guys. Also up was Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I said before, I would have been fine with any of these three games winning. Hollow Knight, KCD 2, or Expedition 33. The Donkey Kong game was okay. Couldn't have a Pokemon game, so they used another one for representation. Yeah. No, I think the only reason that they had a Nintendo game there was because of console bias, because they had to have a Nintendo game, right? Best game direction, Expedition 33 won that one as well. This is where Ghost of Yote starts getting snubbed. Death Stranding 2 was up for Best Direction. So was Hades 2. So was Split Fiction. Then you had Best Adaptation. Oh boy. You know, this is a no-win situation right here, in my personal opinion. When you have the options being... Let's scroll back up. I think this is a better format. The options for this are a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, which was very controversial, Last of Us Season 2, which was so meme-worthy it's not even funny, Splinter Cell Death Watch, which I think was an animation I never saw, and then Until Dawn, which I never watched. There's no way, like, there's no good answer here. So Last of Us Season 2 is pretty predictable. Best Narrative, Expedition 33 once again beats Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei. And then, of course, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Silent Hill F. Yeah, all the options there suck. Best Art Direction, Expedition 33 wins again. It snubs Hollow Knight, Hades 2, and Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. Then you got Best Score and Music. Of course, Clair Obscur was going to win that one. Same games again got snubbed. Best Audio Design. This is a weird one. This is one people said should have had Arc Raiders up for the award, because Arc Raiders, much like Escape from Tarkov, a lot of these extraction shooters, a lot of what makes the game great is the audio design. And not even getting nominated because of the AI use was bullshit, when I'm sure Battlefield 6 and probably a couple of these other games as well probably used some AI. So Hollow Knight should have won art. Yeah, maybe. One that won is the huge WTF. DS2 should have got that. I don't think anybody really liked the adaptations, to be honest. I liked 33-bit DS2 had better audio design by a long shot. The part of Expedition 33's audio design that I really, really liked was in the combat. There was a lot of really cool audio effects when you were doing like the parrying, the dodging, all those kind of things, the gradients, parries, all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of really good audio design, but I think a game like, again, Arc Raiders, or even Battlefield 6, which won, probably had better audio. So Battlefield has amazing audio design since Battlefield 3. Yeah, so I think in that regard, it's fine that Battlefield 6 won. I just think Arc Raiders should have been up there for that. Then you had Jennifer English, who played Mael, winning Best Actor, Voice Actress. That's totally fine. Erica Ishii getting snubbed. I'm cool with that. Charlie Cox was never going to win this award because all he did was shit on his role, because he's like, I recorded my lines in a day. He didn't even go to the award show. He did not care. Then you had Ben Starr, who was also really good as Verso. Kanatsu Kato over there for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker again for Indiana Jones. She was great in Expedition 33. She did do one really cringe thing, and I think I have it brought up somewhere, where she wanted to talk about neurodivergent people, and it's like, so she did the Queer Joy thing for the Golden Joystick Award. And then she starts talking about like neurodivergent people and stuff at this one, and it's like, okay, can we just stop, please? Can we just stop? Arc Raiders Susano is really fun, great multiplayer, very smooth, very good. Like the game runs incredibly smooth. The audio design's awesome. It's a phenomenal game. Yeah, she did it again, pretty much. I bet she has a lot of queer joy after that. Did I see Smash's tweet about it? I did not. I haven't been on Twitter much because I was basically home helping make dinner, getting the dog walked, whatever and stuff. I was just watching, listening to the show while I was helping with dinner. So, innovation in accessibility, Doom: The Dark Ages. I think that they won because they had the variable like damage, speed of the projectiles, the difficulty sliders, all that kind of stuff where you could, change all those things around. Okay, so in the accessibility category, South of Midnight didn't even win that one. South of Midnight freaking won Games for Impact, okay? And it was up there with freaking Lost Records of Bloomin' Rage, a complete dumpster fire shit show of a game. Yeah, Lugia, the problem is, unlike other games where Expedition 33 was never seemingly impacted by Jennifer English's own opinions on life in general or any of the weird shit that she's been saying, it's hard to separate the art from the artist these days. It's becoming increasingly hard. So the more you have somebody who had no impact on the game negatively, and the game is phenomenal and everyone loves it, but she won't shut up about it, it is going to turn off a certain number of people. It's a made-up category? Yeah, pretty much. How do I keep hearing? I feel like either the cat wants in or this cat wants out, but this cat's sleeping. So, games for Impact because it bombed. Hey, Geekazu. Hey, Truth, how's it going? It says a lot when Sony games get snubbed in all categories. That is very, very true. Yeah, even Helldivers 2 didn't win an award, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. You had Best Ongoing Game, No Man's Sky. There were people saying that it should have been Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, bullshit. No Man's Sky has done so much over the course of the last few years to fix their game, redeem themselves, give out all this free DLC and all these patches. There's just no way. Let Bourbon in. Bourbon doesn't want it. He's probably sleeping on my bed right now. My wife's in our room, so he's probably in there. Best smelling carp. Accessibility makes it sound like it's made easier. It's about actual accessibility. Well, Susano, I was saying this in Words of Paradise or Mr. Hardcore Mode. He was streaming the first part of the show when I was on the way home. The problem with the accessibility side of it is the word accessibility has been co-opted by people who are just freaking weirdos, where they think putting a trigger warning toggle on your game is accessibility, when real accessibility is about like, hey, can a deaf person play this game? Hey, can somebody with 3 fingers on one hand, play this game? That's actual accessibility. The term accessibility has been really bastardized over the years. You were expecting bigger announcements? Yeah, I mean, the Larian one, Divinity, that was the biggest, hype moment of the entire thing, but not for me. For me personally, hey, Mahendra, good to see you, buddy. For me personally, yes, yellow paint is now associated with accessibility. Exactly. Mahendra, I wish I had never bought it on Steam because I'm probably not going to buy it. I'm probably not going to play it. I got it for $5 on Steam, so whatever. I agree with how Zao described accessibility. No Man's Sky's soundtrack is awesome. I wouldn't know. I never played it. Yo, is Spotify still playing the soundtrack in the background? Oh, it's just really quiet. Okay. Interesting. I have no idea how loud it even is, but... let me see here. What else do we got? Best community support. This is a weird one. I was assuming Helldivers 2 might win this one, but this one went to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not sure what best community support even means. When the crazy bee from Australia started going on about having children being a disability. Yeah, you're talking about Alana Pierce. Yes, or disability. God, I think I've got that clip somewhere. Hang on a second. Do I have that? Oh, man. I don't. No, I combined that with Kevin from The Office going, "Are you saying I'm retarded?" Are people still playing Baldur's Gate 3? I think so, Lucia. I think so. Yo, DB! Damn check keyboard. Nice. Still fixing bugs every month. Yeah, that's crazy. You only voted on Wilds because in spite of the performance problems everyone else on PC is having, I'm already at 900 hours in the game. That's dedication right there. Don't even care. Here's what I'll give Alana Pierce. I'll give her this. She is not bad looking, but that's about the best thing I can say about her. It needs to be one that's actually getting played right. Hey, Remy! Added a bunch of cut content and made it super moddable. That's always good. That's a good thing. She's a bimbo. I know Equilibrium. I know that, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't look good. Best independent game. Okay. I was actually surprised. I figured this one was going to go to Blueprints because I've heard Blueprints is really awesome. And then, of course, you have the whole conversation with the indie scene with Hollow Knight Silksong. They shadow dropped the game. A lot of indie developers were pretty up in arms about it. I was figuring it was going to go with one of these other 2 games here. It should be No Man's Sky 2, honestly, or KCD with their real life things if they nominated them. Yeah. Yeah, KCD 2 didn't get nominated for a whole lot of stuff. I know, but call a spade a spade. Oh, yeah, no. She's a bimbo. There's no question there, but easy on the eyes, we'll say. Best debut indie game. And remember, Megabonk was up for this one as well, but because the guy's like, well, we already have industry work, he dropped out. Very strange because, again, Expedition 33 has developers who worked at other major AAA studios as well. So I don't quite understand the argument behind it. Yeah, Hollow Knight got scrubbed, and that really sucked because that game is really good. I haven't beat it yet because I'm never ever able to finish games. This is the weird one. Okay. Not that it's weird because it's the best mobile game category and I don't care, but they did best mobile game. And then they also had best VR. I don't even give a shit. This one makes sense. They had best action game as Hades 2. I played the first Hades game, so I get that. That makes sense. Doom: The Dark Ages had been better received and might have probably won this one, or Ninja Gaiden 4, but Ninja Gaiden 4 also kind of like a mixed bag. Hollow Knight Silksong for best action adventure game. Again, beating Ghost Yote, beating Split Fiction, Death Stranding 2, Indiana Jones. Totally cool with that. Best RPG. Yeah, the Horse Girl game. The best RPG one was really strange, in my opinion. This right here. This absolutely should have been Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Without a question, without a doubt, it should have been KCD 2. And I'm not saying that, either one of these is a perfect representation of an RPG, because there are purists out there saying RPG means you should be able to control every aspect of the character you're playing, create it from scratch. The true definition of RPG being role-playing game, therefore you play a role that you want to play, not an already established character. Again, we're kind of like going off into the weeds at that point. The way I look at it, from just my perspective, RPG means you have player choice. And I don't know how Expedition 33 fills that role better than KCD 2. So as an RPG, as the ability to choose your story, choose your path, make decisions that'll have an impact on your character, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 should have won that award. If Wilds is an RPG, then all games are RPGs. Is that what, did they call Wilds an RPG? That's really strange. You think Ninja Gaiden should have won Best Action? I didn't play it, so I don't know. Yes, Tainted Grail should be there over Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. 100%. Tainted Grail people loved. The few people who played it, and I'm not saying that to like slight it, it was just a smaller game. It was an indie studio, I'm pretty sure. Didn't get as much press, so very few people actually played Tainted Grail compared to other games this year. But people that did play it loved it. I know firsthand several people who thought Tainted Grail was a fantastic game. It's on the list. Of course, they called it an RPG. They can't give the award to something they never played. These awards are given by industry experts, not actual gamers. Yeah, so if they didn't play Tainted Grail, they can't give it to them. So that makes sense. Let me see. Oh, I didn't even pay attention to Monster Hunter Wilds being on the bottom. That's the craziest part. So you're right. It's on the screen there. I just wasn't even looking at it. I stopped after the first few titles and didn't even think twice about it. How the hell is Monster Hunter Wilds an RPG? That doesn't make any sense. All right. Outperformed player-wise Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 on SteamDB. Interesting. Okay, but is Tainted Grail only on Steam and not on console? Because I know that both those other games, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2, are both available on console. That could be the determining factor there of how they look at, like, whether or not to put it up there for the award. They should change the RPG category. Agreed. They're confused by RPG and narrative-driven games. Right. Modern concept of RPG boils down to making your own character and forging the story of the game. RPG back in the day was a more story-driven game where you took the role of most characters in the game. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a matter of how you, I guess, determine what RPG actually means. So, in my mind, I might be having more of the, in that case, it'd be more of the modern approach to it, where you create the story, you create the character, you make choices that affect the outcome of the game, more than just stepping into the role of an already established character. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense that these games are all considered RPGs. Then why'd they add Donkey Kong Bonanza to any of the awards? It's only on a single console. Because it's Nintendo. They had to. They had to. There was no option. It's Nintendo. You can't snub Nintendo. Just no way. They're not going to. Let's see. Best fighting game. I don't care. They gave it to Fatal Fury. I don't care. Best family game. Okay. So explain this one to me. Best family game. Why would you not give it to something like Mario Kart World, where the whole family can play it together? or Lego Party, which I assume is multiplayer, Split Fiction, which is at least couch co-op. They give it to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Isn't that a single player game? Do they mean like family friendly, or do they mean like can actually involve the whole family? I'm so confused. I'm so beyond confused. You're playing the role of someone else. That's why they call LARPing, right? Live action role playing, right? Almost all OG RPGs are turn-based. So would you consider the original Final Fantasy an RPG, though? Because there's a turn-based game, but you just pick 4 members for your party, and you just do turn-based combat. There's no decision-making in the game. There's no skill tree. There's no, like, moral... I don't know. Probably family is in rated C for children. Maybe. But, like, come on. I don't get it. Final Fantasy is literally a JRPG. Okay, well, there you go. There's just too this. I've complained about this for so many like months now. Anytime people start talking about a Souls-like, and it's like everything is a Souls-like now. If everything's a Souls-like, then everything's an RPG. You know. Sonic should have won Best Family. Yeah, I don't have a dog in that fight other than why the hell did Donkey Kong win? You know. Best Sim Strategy Game. I love that Sid Meier's Civilization 7 is up here. When they announced the options here, nobody even tried to like do a golf clap for Civilization 7. Everyone knows it's a dumpster fire. Best Sports Racing Game. We all knew Mario Kart World was going to win. No shock there. Arc Raiders Best Multiplayer. Now, this was pretty impressive because I figured Split Fiction or Battlefield 6 might have a chance at taking this. I knew Night Rain was never going to take it. Night Rain was like a flash in the pan. But Arc Raiders winning this, I was genuinely happy about. Tempest Rising was a great game. I never played it. I guess the way to put this is it's like D&D, the board games back in the day. Assume D&D is still played like that. You play a role and pretend to be whatever that role is. But is the role one that you create yourself, or is it an already established character? See, this is where I get into the whole... Yeah, it's I have to figure out a different time to talk about this, because the whole RPG thing is very confusing. You thought it would go to Battlefield 6 Equilibrium? I mean, no, it's freaking... Arc Raiders blew it away. Most anticipated game. You'd think Witcher 4, but no, it's Grand Theft Auto 6. It's the funniest thing. It's like this game that's never coming out. Definitely. Wait. Wait, they thought Moist Critical's black. Oh my god, GameSpot. Content Creator of the Year. Okay. Should have gone to Burnt Peanut, just for this whole VTuber, PTuber thing alone from the Streamer Awards. But Moist Critical won Content Creator of the Year, and they put a picture of Kai Cenat on there. What the absolute hell? Oh my god, Arc Raiders is a surprise considering how late it arrived. I know, but it's because of the reception to it. Best esports game, don't care. Counter-Strike 2 won, if anybody cares. Best esports athlete, nobody cares. Esports team, nobody cares. And player's voice. Okay. Here's the weird one. Player's voice, Wuthering Waves, won this one. Now, all I can imagine is that people assumed Expedition 33 was going to win enough awards that they didn't care to vote on this one. And you have the gacha fans that were like kind of like VTuber fans where they're just ravenous, and they all clamored to the site and all agreed to like vote 10,000 times or whatever. I don't understand this. I don't care. If it's a player's voice award, then fine. Oh god, here we go. Game Changer. Moist Critical became black, yeah. Chinese voters, maybe. Literally what was being said over and over on the stream I was watching, nobody cares. Because there's a small percentage of people who might care about the esports, about this and that. Most people don't care. So we had the Game Changer moment where Girls Make Games, which is a group that offers summer camps, workshops, and game jams that aim to inspire the next generation of designers, creators, and engineers. Female only, or those who identify as female. So that was kind of like the highlights and lowlights of the entire thing. So yeah, if you just look at the awards here, Expedition 33 won a record 9 awards, which was a all-time record, beating Last of Us Part 2, which is pretty impressive, pretty crazy. Not necessarily. Let me see. For me, it was kind of nice hearing where that funding went in part. I was trying to explain it to my daughter, and I'm like, the thing is, I have no problem with girls in game dev, girls who want to be gamers, girls who want to do all this stuff. It's the fact that so many of these organizations that offer these internships that are female only are all activist minded, and all they're trying to produce is a more kind, considerate, compassionate, generation of developers who don't allow characters to be objectified and who think about the real world harm that games are causing. It creates this same Sweet Baby Inc. Factor all over again. It's detrimental to the entire industry. Let's see. WUA is surprisingly popular with gacha players. Now I know that Wuthering Waves is really popular. I'm just surprised that many people turned out for it. Anyways. Yeah, so the other one that we had, like I said, was Games for Impact going to South of Midnight. Now, the funniest thing about this is the game that was made in part in collaboration with Sweet Baby Inc. They had to hire a different voice actress to make sure she sounded more black. They had a black protagonist set in the South with, again, Louisiana, Southern culture, and everything else. And the two women who get up on the stage to receive the award for Games for Impact were both white. I mean, it's like, oh my god. You can't write this shit. You can't make this shit up. Absolutely cracked me up when I saw these two women get up. It creates devs who create games that want to be pirated. Yeah, a lot of those games that you see on like itch.io, a lot of those ones that are like people talking about their trauma, the one with the girl driving her sister to the abortion clinic, a lot of that shit comes out of people who get internships at those kind of places. Cameraman was trying to get a crotch shot of her. Oh, we're talking about the one in the maroon dress here. Glad they beat Last of Us Part 2. Yeah. The girl who presented was very lesbian coded, but I guess you could be charitable and say that she was tomboyish. It was, yeah. Yeah, no, this, I mean, it's a nice dress, but definitely, creepy cameraman. So yeah, Sucker Punch had to come out and say it was an honor to be nominated for 7 categories. Big congratulations to all the other nominees, winners, and studios. This had to burn a little bit. Had to burn, from sure. Of course, you had Erika Ishii at the Game Awards, at the red carpet. Looking a hot mess, as usual. Oh my. Yeah. Colt Eastwood all excited about that. Go figure. Okay. Then you had XQC checking in on Asmongold's chat during the Game Awards when the Games for Impact gals got up here. I'm not sure what he was looking at in the chat, other than, oh, that's why, okay. So you have people saying, white women, gay, ew. Gay, holy slop, ass, white women, woke, slop award, of course, gay. Not a single known title on that list. Scissors time, woke, woke, woke. What even was this? Gay, creepers. L, that game was terrible, so sick of this shit. Participation trophy.
Our incredible team.
Oh hell nah. Inclusion award made by Karens, no other option. Oh my god. McCarthy didn't go far enough. You're not wrong about that. Drag alert. Felicia Day is a great person, one of those who has it right in the head when talking for certain communities. Was nice to see her again. Still remember meeting her at Dragon Age meetup. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. To each their own. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just funny. It's like, you don't have to say anything. You can just tell. The general reception was not positive. Let me see here. Yeah, so we had Jennifer English saying, to every neurodivergent person watching, this one is for you. More cringe moments. But yeah, a lot of people saying that this one shocked them. About Expedition 33 winning RPG of the year. Legacy Killer saying, okay, even this shocked me. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 wins best RPG. Sir Toby, Communications director for Warhorse Studios saying we've been officially robbed. Big Fry saying, honestly, I feel like KCD2 deserved something tonight. KCD2, of course, tweeting out that this is fine meme. And I get it. They were never going to win Game of the Year. Had Expedition 33 not existed, it would have been between KCD2 and probably Hollow Knight Silksong. And then maybe Ghost Yote would have won. I think if Expedition 33 didn't exist, Ghost Yote might have a chance at getting rid of or knocking off KCD2. They deserve Best RPG 100%. Some games gamers actually hype up here, but a lot aren't even games that were trending this year, not a real manner. Yeah. Ishii looks like she's in drag with that hair and makeup. Isn't it funny that you can have a woman that makes herself look like a man looking like a woman? KCD2 deserved getting nothing. Valver's a lying scumbag. I mean, there are a lot of people that felt that way. And honestly, I think his response in the entire controversy leading up to the release of the game and his response afterwards and people not liking some of the choices made in the game kind of sealed that game's fate, at least from the player perspective. I've said before, I think they would have sold more copies had they had less of a controversy. And people are going to look at all the factors that weigh in. Plus, we all know that based on his interactions with the media with the first game coming out, back in Gamergate time and all that, that he was never going to win a Game of the Year award, even if his game was more inclusive, even if it had more diversity or whatnot, whether you feel it was forced or whether he was trying to do something thinking it would be tongue-in-cheek and it didn't land. Whatever the reason, there was never a chance that his game was going to be a Game of the Year with all of his history and his baggage, Sold over 4 million copies is respectable, and he's made lots of money on the game. The problem is when you exist online, you never know how many people in the real world are actually paying attention to controversies. But there were probably at least thousands, I'd say hundreds to thousands of people involved in the entire controversy leading up to the release of the game that probably were negatively affected. Look, there were videos that content creators made talking about all the information coming out about KCD2 leading up to it that were getting hundreds of thousands of views. If that impacted 10% of their audience, that's tens of thousands of sales that it didn't make, All the BS around it had its effect, yeah, especially since Valve didn't really try to do anything about it and let it fester, right. Channeling your inner Miss Swan, she looked like a man. It's like high school popularity contest, right. Let me see here. What else have we got? Oh, then you got, of course, PlayStation console warrior Nick Marseille. Not sure who this guy is other than he always pops up trying to dunk on anti-wokers and being a PlayStation shill, I believe. This is the guy that they've memed on for having a picture kissing his PlayStation. Talking about players' voice going to Withering Waves, saying, this is why they don't let you commoners vote for this shit. So then apparently he didn't do nothing when people called him out on case. Yeah, no, I agree, Black Cat. I've said before, the biggest issue with was his response to the entire thing. That was one of the biggest issues, was his actual response to a lot of it. Synth Potato saying, Withering Waves winning Player's Voice Game of the Year is exactly why no serious award show should ever be fully community voted. Absolute joke, not gonna lie. I understand what these retards are saying, but at the same time, it just feels like, once again, people shilling for media and journalists like, oh, you can't trust commoners to vote for anything because they vote for garbage. Okay, let me do a real quick test. I'm curious about something. Hang on a second. Since I know absolutely nothing about Withering Waves, other than it's a gacha game, right? I that's all I know about it. That's it. Let me see here. Is this a mobile game, like, first and foremost? Because I see that it's on SteamDB, but it peaked at 32,000 players on Steam 6 months ago. So is this game even on, like, mobile? So who's playing Withering Waves? That's what I want to know. Like, who's actually playing this game? Let me see. What was appealing to a lot more people? That's why I like going negative, getting lumped with these cats. It's a third-person action game that's mobile and PC. It's free, so a ton of teenagers with no income get it for free. Oh, so yeah, every gacha starts off as mobile and then... See, I wouldn't know because I just straight up, I don't mess with mobile games. I don't care. I despise mobile games. I have no interest in mobile games at all. Like zero, zilch, nada, nothing. So anything that starts mobile and then goes to Steam, I can guarantee you I won't be playing, like ever. Those votes were all bots or Chinese. It's possible. Now, if they were all Chinese, I have no problem with that. To be clear, the thing about it is, and people did this before with games like Black Myth Wukong, games that have massive, like Monster Hunter Wilds, that we know that has a large fan base in China. Right away, console fanboys and people who want to shit on the game go, well, those are all Chinese players. Does their money not spend like ours? I don't understand the argument that people make anytime they try to deflect from the success of a game by saying, well, those players are all Chinese. I don't care where they are. If they buy a game, if Monster Hunter Wilds comes out and it's $70, and a Chinese person pays their equivalent of $70 US to play the game, and they play the game at the same time as an American who paid $70 US, I don't understand the point of saying, well, but those players are Chinese. Who cares? I don't understand. Let me see. These aren't the games that would have won if it was Chinese. It's not the bulk of what they play. Yeah. Haven't heard what in years. What did DB say? I don't think it showed up in my chat. Hang on. Oh, are you talking about the Intermiss Swan thing? Let me see here. Yeah, I haven't seen Mad TV in years. And then, of course, we got Moist Critical. Stutter and Craig says this is the perfect acceptance speech. I've not listened to this. I don't even know what this is. Hang on, let me see here. Let me pause this. I'll just get rid of that. You can just look at Steam's metrics. Yeah, Steam only had like 8,000 players on Wuthering Waves. So that's where I'm like, who are all the people playing it? That's what I don't understand. Because again, if it's a mobile game, then Steam's not going to tell you the whole story. It's different in a country where the government will mobilize its public to affect global outcomes. I mean, that's a good point, Black Cat. That is a good point. My point is simply engaging the success of a game individually compared to other games. A certain number of players playing it means a certain number of players, regardless of where they are. That doesn't mean that there's not global implications, obviously, with the involvement of governments and a desire to drive a certain narrative and everything else that we've talked about. I'm just saying, in terms of player numbers, total players means total players. It had PC client way before Steam. Oh, so is there a difference? Okay, so you don't have to play it through Steam. You can play it through another launcher. Interesting, okay. Yeah, that was like Enlisted. When Enlisted first started, it was on the Gaijin launcher and not on Steam. And then I think they merged the two. I'm pretty sure Enlisted merged with Steam. Kind of like how Escape from Tarkov is now on Steam. But God, Battlestate Games is the scummiest company on the planet. I don't know if you guys heard this when they went on Steam a couple months ago. If you already owned Battlestate Games Escape from Tarkov, right? The one game Battlestate Games made. And you owned it and bought it through their launcher, through their store, if you wanted to launch it through Steam, you'd have to buy another copy of it on Steam. I'm like, that's asinine. If you've been supporting that game for 7 years through their launcher, they should let you migrate your account to Steam. It's like absolutely nuts. Can go through, say, Billy if you're wondering about what part of what they care about. Oh, interesting. Battlestate got scared because Ark was taking their lunch. Dude, I could just play Ark Raiders as long as they continue to keep the game interesting, make the game, fun and approachable, and never touch Escape from Tarkov again, and I'd be just fine. I would be just fine. So whatever Ark Raiders did with the recipe for that game, they accomplished it. They nailed it. All right, let's see what this is from Moist Critical. It's only like 23 seconds long.
Please God, anybody but me.
And the burnt peanut. And the game award goes to Moist Critical. Congratulations. All right. Here are the nominees for Best Fighting Game. 2XKO, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal
That's cool.
Fury, City of the
Thanks.
World, Mortal Kombat.
I mean, I could actually respect that. Please, anybody but me. Battlestate deserves to starve if Arc Raiders could so easily snatch their lunch. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, dude, Battlestate better be scared. They really better be scared because there have been so many issues that they have not fixed or addressed with their game over the years. If you don't mind Chinese culture aesthetics, you should try WM Where Winds Meet. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Where Winds Meet, I do like the Chinese culture and aesthetics, not as much as Japanese, and not as much as like European, like Dark Ages, medieval, those kind of things. But so the way I like rank mythology, architecture, culture, all these things. Like at the very top, you've got like, for as far as mythology goes, Greek and Norse mythology, I've got like neck and neck. Then you get to like culturally things like, again, the Dark Ages, European Dark Ages, Vikings, that kind of stuff. Feudal Japan obviously comes a close second to like the Dark Ages. Then you get things like further down Egyptian culture. Way down at the bottom for me is anything like African, Indian. I just am not a fan of any of the mythology to come out of those places. So, do you think Raiders is too new to be in this? Hasn't left its first hype cycle, to be clear. Right. Lunch. Yeah, I got you. No. But so for me personally, when it comes to like culture, Chinese is interesting, but I think I like Japanese more than Chinese. And then Japanese is still behind things like, again, Greek mythology, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, those kind of things. But again, part of with like African mythology, because I've talked to like Keita and stuff about this, I just don't know anything about African mythology. I know nothing of it. So to me, you know, people talk about like the rich lore and history and stuff. And I'm just like, I just don't quite understand any of it, you know? Telling me that the African tale of Anansi, the trickster spider god, doesn't appeal to you. I don't know if you're being facetious or not, but that sounds cool. I would actually, I'd probably read about that more. Not trashing Wilds, to be clear, though they do need to fix the PC performance problems, but that's what I mean by too new. Wilds was hyped and sold like crazy, only to get massive hate in part for due reasons. Yeah, Wilds was one of those things where it received, I think, the appropriate amount of hate for the issues. I saw the game had a lot of issues. The game had a lot of problems, you know? Look at it in spare time is pretty cool. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, DB. It's not that I have like this, African, you know, mythology is gonna be dog shit. It's just, I just don't know that much about it. And the aesthetic alone doesn't quite appeal to me. When it comes to mythological, for example, like if we're talking like a Dark Souls-like, talking about a Souls-like type game, okay? For me personally, I enjoy the Gothic architecture, the forests, the swamps, those kind of things. You don't have the same vibe when you talk about like deserts, okay? It's a different environment, it's a different culture, different aesthetic. So for me personally, I don't seek out things that have like the desert aesthetic. I just don't. Problem with African mythology is that I have a hard time differentiating between what's true and what's political BS. Well, if we're talking mythology, I accept it all as it's just legend. It's just fable, right? It's just African mythology is like Jinga La La Hu. I don't even know what that is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the actual trailer reveals. I'm going to take the chat off the screen, guys, because I'm going to switch to a different screen here just so we can blow this up big. Because there's a bunch of these that I want to get through. All right, no worries, Edby. Have a good night.
Best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing.
Dude, I need that video clip. I need that sound clip so bad from that Variety guy.
Many dollars worth.
Was it the gayest game awards ever? I didn't watch. Was too busy combing my non-existent hair.
Non-existent hair? Hey, man, my hair is slowly retreating. I'm getting there. Dude, Smeg with the 10. Appreciate you, buddy. Honestly, the show itself was garbage like it always is. They had freaking Miss Piggy there, okay? I couldn't believe what I was watching. They had the Games for Impact crap. They did all that kind of stuff. But as far as like quality of the game reveals, there's some ones that I'm actually quite interested in. Hey, Empress, what did I miss? I just woke up. I only saw the Total Warhammer. So the Total Warhammer one I don't have pulled up. I could find that one only because I'm just not familiar with all the Warhammer lore as much as someone like you would be. But we will probably try to grab that one too and take a look at it. Kappa is actually a history myth, like most Japanese myths, also kind of political. I can't actually explain what the history is beyond saying the Kappas are what the kids of women look like after a famine. I can't read apparently. It caused their mothers to do what they did. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Hopefully CA doesn't screw it up. Yeah. These shows I always watch 1 hour after so I can skip the garbage I don't like. Well, I'm not even going to play like the show clips, guys. This is the best part. I was thinking about this. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with the clips from the show. I've just pulled trailers up. So all we have, in fact, let me get that Total Warhammer one real quick. Maybe we'll do that one first. I am just grabbing the clips from the actual reveals. None of the garbage crap from the show itself. Okay. So this is the Total Warhammer. We'll start with this one. We will start with this one, although it's kind of out of order with the way that they started with the show. Good thing I didn't watch the awards. I mean, it was so long. The awards show was way the hell too long. Miss Piggy as in the puppet or a human-sized one. It was the puppet, but they had her on stage with Jeff Keighley, and it was awful. Someone voted A for the Game Awards? No. I got the Zendaya of gaming mentioned again that she's lesbian and has a girlfriend. No, but she did have to say, so she toned it down. She won Best Voice Performance, Jennifer English did, and she said it was for all the neurodivergent people out there. So that's about the extent of it, yeah. Sometimes a myth is created out of extreme trauma. Right. Well, and myth and legend can also be a great tool for propaganda, like they were saying, in case you're in a situation where you need something to cling on to. Look at the Ghost of Kiev, okay? Think about that shit. And that's a recent myth, okay? That's been in the last 5 years. No karma because of the Egyptian god Kek, exactly. All right. So here is the Total Warhammer 40K announcement trailer. Again, I am the 40K pleb, so I know nothing about this. Oh, and everyone, you got to say hi to the cat while he's still in the chair. This is my fat kitty. This is Tucker. For some weird reason, he decided the last couple days that my wife's chair here is where he wants to sleep, so I pulled him over so he's in the view of the camera. Yep, big kitty on. There we go. Can't wait for Twitter meltdowns on Hogwarts Legacy like back in 2023. Neurodivergent is one of those terms that, to my knowledge, doesn't mean just one thing. There's like plenty of ways to be neurodivergent. It's strategy tactics games, so it may not be your cup of tea. Yeah, Remy, it's really tough. I have played strategy tactics games in the past. It's not that I don't like them. It's that I don't have the patience for them a lot of the time. No, he's not a tabby. He's actually a British Shorthair. But yeah, color-wise. Yes, he's an orange devil. Epic was dead during the show. Lots of 500 and so on. All right. Let's go ahead and hit play. I think the volume we can adjust on the fly here.
In the grim darkness.
It means retarded, yes.
Of the far future. Every soul's survival hangs by a thread.
Wait, hold up. DB says neurodivergent breaks down to of different thoughts. So everyone. Holy crap. Did they show actual gameplay in the clips or much of the usual? Most of the clips you're going to see here are cinematic trailers. Very little gameplay in a lot of them, unfortunately. Again, they got a good aesthetic, but obviously not gameplay.
Mankind is beset by endless tides of aliens, traitors, and demons.
Ooh, me likey the tractor.
Across countless worlds, battles rage.
Oh, gameplay is always key. Don't tell me Space Marine 2 is on sale. That's another game that if I buy it, I'm never going to get around to playing. Don't do that to me. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of gameplay in this trailer at the very end, I'm pretty sure. I've already got Kingdom Come 2. I have to make myself go back and actually play it at some point.
Lead your armies. Conquer worlds. Fight on.
Choose Necrons.
The galaxy burns. For there is no peace amongst the stars. There is only...
Yeah, you know, Empress, I say that, and it's like, I've already put more than 50 hours into Arc Raiders in just my spare time. So there's no reason I couldn't play a game like Space Marine 2 and actually beat it. I just have to stop getting so single-focused on just one game at a time.
war.
All right, let's see some gameplay. Come on. I know that there's gameplay at the very end of this. Captured an engine from a pre-alpha build, so it might look nothing like this when it's released. Always choose Astartes? Yeah. That actually looks really good. Not gonna lie. Yeah, Remy, you mentioned that it might not be my cup of tea. I played a shitload of Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Caesar, quite a few of those games when I was younger. I just don't have the patience for them now is the problem. That was for Dawn of War 4. It's too chaotic. Do you guys want me to put the chat back up here? Let me grab this. Hang on a second. Let me go back over here. I'm going to grab the chat from over here. Copy and paste to over here. Screw it, we'll do it live. All right, so the problem is now it's going to be in front of me instead of behind me. There we go. If it gets annoying to see the chat on the screen and you guys can't see the trailer, let me know, okay? Because the shit show the current Total Warhammer has been. Total War games have a little more scale. All right, so this was the first noteworthy trailer that I saw at the Game Awards. It's an indie developer. I believe they said it was one person. One person, or at least like one main developer, small studio, whatever. It's called Decrepit. It's on Steam. I already went ahead and threw it on my wish list just so I can keep track of it. I'm not going to say Souls-like because, again, everything is Souls-like these days. Epic is working. Okay, yeah, guys, go grab Hogwarts Legacy if you don't already have it. It's free on Epic. Oh, this should be up here. There we go. Yeah, this one looks kind of cool. It certainly looks better than that Lost Ashes game, or whatever the hell that game is called. Does anybody actually like playing orcs? Like in any game that exists? Yeah, so this one, I mean, it could be interesting. The studio is called Three Friends. I assume it's a very small studio, unless this is actually the publisher in, who would that be, Hammerdal or Yammerdal? Depending on what language that is. All right, let's see. Like medieval horror, it kind of looks like dark and darker kind of aesthetic, like dungeon crawling kind of stuff. I don't know. Could be interesting, though. It's called Decrepit. All right, so now we've got more of the psychological bullshit horror thriller from Remedy Entertainment. I believe this is Remedy, right? Control? This is the sequel, Control Resonant. Orcs for Life. Nah. Yeah, I see equally where I'm saying it's got like dark and darker vibes. Exactly. Nothing wrong with enjoying it, dude.
Do you feel it?
I don't know. For me personally, it just wasn't a game I ever really bothered to look into.
Coming.
Maybe I should move the chat to the other side of the screen. I could drag this over here. That'll make it easier to see the trailers. There we go. A little bit easier. All right. We're doing shit on the fly tonight.
An intrusive pattern.
I definitely call this a crap game. Kingsfield? Like, what the hell? What are you talking about, Kingsfield?
Staggering power.
Orcs don't make excuses when it comes to
Reshaping
killing.
reality as we
Oh, it's a
know it.
Control spin-off. Okay. Well, spiritual successor.
Everything we tried to keep inside
See, I didn't play Warhammer at all, so I don't know.
eventually worms its way.
There was a lot of this shit going on at the Game Awards. People being suspended and all that. Kick chat has less lag for you over YouTube. Could be a difference in the latency. I don't know. Remedy has fallen.
You must have had good reasons. But we were not prepared.
Probably connected with Alan Wake, maybe. Oh, they are related to Control? Oh, there you go. Not suspended, no, in chat, like, no, like they had actors on the stage that were interactive parts of the trailers. And so there was like 3 different trailers that had people at different times suspended from this, like, wires on the stage. Oh yeah, Quantum Break, forgot about that one. This trailer's terrible for someone who never played the first game. It just didn't do anything for me. White male protagonist, we're so back. Oh, okay, it's a shared universe, I see. I was telling my wife, I just feel like there's a lot of this whole Inception thing going on where it's like alternate dimensional, like, shifting and portals and time and space getting all screwed up. There's a few of the games that I saw at the Game Awards that are all kind of like this. Might as well show me a movie instead. See, I'm right there with you, Smeg, exactly.
Pace yourself.
You explained Kingsfield above. It's an old first-person medieval PS1 game. It's been considered by some to be the father or grandfather of modern Souls-like games. Okay, all right. I feel like I've heard that before. Now that you mention it, I feel like that's something I've actually heard. Multi-dimensional liminal dream worlds. Thank you. That's kind of a perfect way of putting it. The shooting and combat are very good. Huh. Yeah, would you really, I don't know if I'd say that that's so much Stranger Things, because at least in the Upside Down, they're not like time and space isn't altering within the alternate world. It's just that it's a alternate world that they're existing at the same time. So I get what you're saying, but it's not like, for me, Inception is more like, or Doctor Strange with like the bending time and space and reality and shit, you know? Watch TGA with Legendary. Hey, I love Legendary drops. The show wasn't bad this year, but man, they just do some weird stuff. Half ads, and sometimes they don't hype the award at all. Feels weird. Exactly, Viscer Matt. I kind of felt that way. I said it was a C, you know? For me, I'd rate it a C. But it repopularized the concept. Fair enough. Yeah, I think Stranger Things probably repopularized a few ideas and concepts that have been dead for a little while. Burner over on the Twatter Machine. Was good, my buddy. Coming from Soft, I think, for Dark Hole, which was renamed Demon Souls. Yes. So now we can say it's a Kingsfield type game instead of Souls-like. Can we start doing that? Thought the show was paced weird. Would put, that was something I noticed. It was like they had on the show, you'd have 10 minutes of trailers where they talked about them. They'd go to the not so important trailers just to fill the space, and then they would cram in the span of 30 seconds 3 separate awards. It was a weird paced show. Nothing from Team Ninja and FromSoft was a letdown. Yeah, that's pretty sad. In an effort to combat Xbox because PlayStation was viewed as being too far behind the Xbox at the time. Okay, so that's why they did that. Interesting. All right, so this, guys, this is Saros, I think it is. We actually have a little bit of gameplay in this trailer. This game was announced, I want to say, earlier this year or this summer.
The sun is forever.
They had J.J. Abrams. What? I didn't know they had J.J. Abrams there. I saw Todd Howard was there. They were for like one sentence of words. The entire chat was crapping on him. Why the heck would he show up? I didn't know that. Are we talking about the J.J. Abrams, or is that somebody else you're talking about? Inception's copied from Pratica anime movie. Oh, interesting. You got Neo 3 and the PvP switch from Soft Game. Wait, they announced Neo 3 at this one? I don't remember that. Did he suck off Kojima? I don't think he even mentioned Kojima once, did he? I don't think he even mentioned Kojima. He was promoting a Bad Robot game for Sony. Oh, you're right. It was probably when we were actually making dinner. I was probably busy, but I was trying to listen to it at the same time.
We promised we'd never be apart.
Exactly, A. Burnham. Yep.
Blazes.
Oh yeah, same truth.
It was promised.
I need to know that I just made the right decision.
It's me, boss. Wait, how long? Since the last time the sun died, mate.
You left us here. We've lost people.
I'm gonna say I haven't had much interest in this game since it was first announced, but at least what I'm noticing is it looks like they're actually using in-game graphics for these cutscenes. So even though it's not quote-unquote gameplay, it looks like what you're seeing in the game is what you're actually going to be seeing.
Last time the sun died, mate.
Which is pretty cool.
You left us here. We've lost people. There's no way to get home, and you...
This is what it does. It gets in our heads, and it twists, and it turns.
And then you got gameplay, which I don't know. For me, this doesn't look like anything I want to play, but at least they're showing you real gameplay. Seems fast-paced, too.
I will make everything perfect.
Return a little bit. Yeah, kind of. I kind of feel like it has that vibe.
I know you're here, and I will.
The assistant coroner from iZombie? I don't know. I mean, it might be decent. Kind of bullet hell in 3D. Geek, no, I got you, buddy. No, but for real though, I just going back to aesthetics again. I just don't necessarily have any feeling about this game specifically, like as far as the aesthetics of the game go. I'm just not feeling it. You know, it looks like it could be fine. It could be decent. Could be fun for a minute. I don't know. Hellgate London Extreme. They're Finnish developers. Oh, interesting. Third-person shooter games are weird for me. They end up looking weird, but I'm sure people like them. Dude, Visser Matt, that is the exact reason. The only thing that I was worried about with Arc Raiders is I tend to be a first-person shooter purist. I don't like playing third-person shooters. It's why I hated The Division. It's why I could never do like a lot of the other games like Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell was third-person, right? It wasn't first-person. I might be mixing my games up. I genuinely prefer 9 times out of 10 first-person shooters over third-person. Then, of course, for again, like the combat type games, again, like Elden Ring, Dark Souls type games, could never play those in first person. I have to have third person for those. But Arc Raiders in third person is phenomenal. It is like the one exception that I've found so far. They might nail a horror vibe in the games. Right, but Equilibrium, the thing is, the one thing about this that has me worried, and I've seen this already with a couple of the trailers that we've already gone over, how many of these trailers are psychological, horror, thriller, person's, their brain is freaking out on them. Is it real? Is it not? Is it, come on. You prefer third person? I prefer third person, like I said, in games where there's more like action RPGs type stuff. SOCOM, I think I played SOCOM. There was one that was the Desert Storm game. I had it back on my GameCube. That one was actually really fun in third person. But I think you could also do first person with some of the weapons. How can you hate The Division? But no. It is not the same game, Smeg. It is not the same game. The Division was crap because you're shooting some retarded thug with like 9mm rounds or whatever, and the enemies were bullet sponges in the Division with no explanation whatsoever. You're shooting a person who's like a regular like gangbanger or whatever on the street, and they were just bullet sponges. I shouldn't have to shoot the same person like 30 times. Level on Arc, something in the 40s. I've lost track, but I'm somewhere in levels 40-ish. That's why you hated it too? Yeah. I don't like third person. You would not be able to play RPG and hack slash games. It's not that I don't like third person. I don't like third person shooters. It's not the same thing. I do like third person games. I would never want to play Legend of Zelda in first person. I'm saying is when it comes to it, for shooting games that are specifically meant for shooting, I prefer first person. Completely depends on the aesthetic of the game. That's a big part of it too. So for me, whatever the reason, whether it's the gunplay, whether it's the aesthetic, whether it's just how like smooth and seamless it works, something about Arc Raiders for me works exceptionally well in third person. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Red Dead Redemption 2 in first person. Yeah, but and see Woodpit, I don't have a problem with like those kind of games. Like I totally understand if somebody prefers first versus third in those kind of games, because with first you get the experience of actually looking down the barrel of your gun. Third person, you can see your character. So there's benefits to both, you know. Don't give any Nintendo ideas. Yeah, no. Nintendo would benefit from some of my ideas, but I don't think they would want to hear them. First person Dark Souls is a nightmare though. Yeah, that would be awful. That would be absolutely horrible. That would be terrible. All right, so we've got Forest 3. I didn't know that there was Forest 1 and 2. It's the Division Dark Zone. Yeah, but for me, okay, you want to talk about bullet sponges? In Arc Raiders, the Arc enemies are the bullet sponges. My God, it takes a lot of like rounds to take those enemies down. Some of them are just retarded hard, like way tougher than they should be. But like if you're fighting somebody else, like an actual player, it's pretty easy to kill them. And they're not bullet sponges because you do have shields and health and those things that factor in. Division, shooting the enemies, it was like, holy shit, these guys have way too many hit points. Like, it's just crazy. Forest 3 retreat? No, it says Forest 3, number 3 reveal. I don't know. I didn't know there was Forest 1 and 2, so here you go. They benefit from a lost lawsuit or two? Yeah. Yeah, truth. Arc Raiders is totally worth it. Well, like, there's The Forest, there's Sons of the Forest, but I've never heard Forest. Seems like a streaming game, maybe. Bullet sponge is an interesting term. It's a fitting term for some games, for some enemies. Like, I get that not every game has to be like full-on realism, right? I prefer shooters that feel a little bit more realistic. So if we're talking first-person shooters, I prefer if you hit somebody in the head once or twice and they don't have any sort of protective shield, the person dies, right? That's just the way I prefer games being designed. I can make exceptions when you're talking about games where you have shields and armor and those kind of things, more sci-fi elements. But for me, if I'm playing a game where a normal human being person that I'm shooting at doesn't die when I hit them in the head after 1 or 2 rounds, for me, perfect. Like it just doesn't make any sense. It's strange. Death Stranding first person? I'm kind of, yeah. It's odd. It's definitely kind of weird. Buy a $30 amiibo to unlock first person mode in Zelda. Run, Forrest, run! And then we have the half digested person here. Half, like, she's kind of hot, but she's missing half her body. Can't really tell what the face looks like, though. She has one nice boob, though. You can one-shot enemies in both Division games. When it comes to LTs or bosses, sure, it takes more. See, Smeg, I haven't touched the Division since I was still a regular console pleb playing on my Xbox. God, I can't remember how many. It was the first Division game, I'm pretty sure. So... No, we don't care. We don't care. Shut up, man. Yeah, I can fix her too, man. So, I just remember not liking how spongy the enemies were. I could be way off with like how many headshots they could take. But I just remember not liking how hard it was to kill them. What did I say? You didn't catch it was 3? Yeah, that was the 3rd one, apparently. All right, let me see here. We have got Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So it is in the series of the Forest games. Oh, it is. For real? Wait. Are you serious? The Forest, Sons of the Forest, Forest 3. But it's completely different because the Forest is your plane crashes and it's cannibals that are trying to eat you. Then you've got Sons of the Forest, which I assume is just a continuation, same kind of story as the first one. Wait, that's actually connected to Sons of the Forest? Dude, that's crazy. That is unusual. All right. All right, let's see. It's made by Night, the same company. Huh. Well, all I know is I played The Forest one time, and it was like late at night by myself, wasn't streaming it, and it was dark in the apartment, and I'm like, yeah, this is too weird. I'm out of here. Played it by myself, got some damn cannibals trying to eat me in the middle of the night. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to be playing this game. Yeah, the dog isn't even trying to get in here yet. This is weird. Too many Resident Evil games. I want to see Mega Man. See, I wasn't even that excited about Mega Man. Monster Hunter Stories 3. Yeah, that wouldn't do anything for me. All right, here we go. Resident Evil. This is another one of those ones that's had some controversy around it. People have been saying like she's either ugly or she's hot. And it's like, I don't have any feeling about this face whatsoever. To me, she's just a character. I don't know. The final part of the Resident Evil game. Oh, the building is great in those games. 100%. Oh, there is alien stuff in the first one? Interesting. We got a zombie.
It hasn't been easy. But after much effort, here we finally are.
Who are you?
I didn't see this trailer earlier.
The one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. It's Ashcroft.
I love the Mega Man character. For sure, it was one of my favorite shows when I was younger, but
Talk to me. Is this one like the others?
as a game franchise, I've never really got into it.
Postmortem lividity. Hey,
I know the name Don Lee, I just don't know what he's been in.
It might be unrelated, but he disappeared near where the 5th body was found.
This one's gonna be great.
You. Elpis can finally be.
Yes, Meg, I just don't like them spongy enemies, man. Leon must be the same age as me.
Team has settled on a person
I'm not sure about that.
someone with ties to
She looks fine. Yeah, I think she looks fine.
Victor gave
He didn't get married to Ada Wong or Claire Redfield. I think Ada Wong was the hot. What was she? She was Asian, right? Last name Wong, I assume she was. Had like the red dress or whatever. You gotta remember, I haven't played all the Resident Evil games. I've played a handful of them. 0, 4, 1. I think I tried playing the remake of 2 or 3, whichever one that was. A little bit of 7.
You there, Leon?
Yeah.
We're so back. You're gonna say that anytime you see a white guy. 2 Wongs don't make a white.
Would you like to see that taken under the
Graphical updated Mega Man X style map. I think series could do a bit more with Metroidvania style. Yeah, I mean that could totally. I could see that. Yeah. So what they said, hang on, before we, I don't know if this is actual gameplay in the last 15 seconds or not. What they said about this game is that you're going to get to play both characters, and with her, it's going to be more of like the horror survival type gameplay. With Leon, it's going to be more of like the, you know, beat 'em up, shoot 'em up kind of stuff. So. Yeah, that looks like Resident Evil 4. How many RE games are there now? Well, if we're counting main RE games, you've got 1 through 4 plus 0. Then you got 5, 6, 7 plus. What did they call the last one? 7. What was the one after Biohazard? Because Biohazard was 7. I think Biohazard was 7. So 8 would be the one that had the big vampire chick. So at least 10 now, I think. At least 10. Thank God it's not female protagonists only. Yeah, Village, thank you. So I think it's at least 10 games now. Too many? Yeah. Capcom keeps making compromises with their female design. She's not ugly, but she's not. Yeah. So Black Cat is kind of one of those somewhere in the middle. You recognize it as a female, but you definitely could see that. And we keep going around and around about this with a lot of these female characters. There are a lot of times you'll see these characters when they do this with these like this chat GPT stuff, like Smash does it a lot, where it's like it makes the character way sluttier looking than they need to. I'm not saying it needs to be like, you know, tits out and big jigglage, you know, all this kind of stuff. But there's something where you just notice that they're not making women as feminine as they can be. And that's, even if you make it fit the setting, right? You're running from your life, for your life from a bunch of zombies. You're not going to be at peak femininity the whole game. But you also have to recognize that it's a video game and it's entertainment and people want to look at nice looking things. So make the character as feminine as reasonably possible. And they're not even doing that a lot of the times. So, Resident Evil Village, yeah. Female just needs to look feminine. Exactly, DB. That's all I'm asking for. Like, just go with what actually works, you know? All right, so this was, other than Divinity, which we're almost up to, guys, this was the big reveal of the night. I seriously let myself get my hopes up on this one. How many Resident Evil games are you guys up to now? Have you gotten past 10? The Resident Evil movie with Claire, that chick isn't a slut, but she looks great kicking zombie butt. Well, I mean, if you look at the Jill Valentine actress, I know people hate the Resident Evil movies, but Jill Valentine in the second movie, okay, peak, all right? You love the square jaw. Look, and I'll be the first person to defend women's square jaws in general and say there are women who have different shaped faces just like men do. But the problem is when we're talking about entertainment, and these are obviously intentional choices because these characters are designed to look that way. In a role, you cast Sydney Sweeney because you need a woman who looks like gorgeous, drop dead, sexy, feminine, whatever. You don't cast Rosie O'Donnell to play the same role. You don't intentionally cast women who are unattractive to play roles of people who are attractive. In the same way, when you're designing a character, you can design the more ideal specimen instead of having some square-jawed man. You know, that's just, yeah. Resident Evil Chronicles. I don't think I ever played that one. live service slop. So this was made. This is called High Guard. This is made from the creators of Titanfall and Apex Legends. When they said they've been working on this game for in secret for 4 years, I allowed myself to have a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope that this was going to turn out to be Titanfall 3. I allowed myself just a shred of hope that Titanfall 3 was still going to happen. And then they just said High Guard. And I'm like, oh, good God, what is this? So here you go, guys. This is Concord is so back. This is what we have now instead. Now, I will say, there are aspects to this that as a hero shooter, PvP kind of free, live service game, could be okay. Sure, there's parts of this that might work. But this game is very potentially dead on arrival. It's you can blame it EA, but Titanfall isn't a successful IP. I know, Visser. Trust me, I know that Titanfall 1 and 2 didn't make EA a tenth of the amount of money that Apex Legends did. I mean, I get that. It's just a shame that they acquired, oh God, what the hell's their name? Makers of Titanfall. It's on the tip of my brain and I can't think of it. It's a shame that they acquired them and then basically just shut the whole studio down, absorbed it into themselves, and it's just dead, Nothing on Saber and Star Wars KOTOR. I know. There was not any KOTOR news, unfortunately. Respawn, thank you. So here's what we get instead of Titanfall 3.
And dangers untold. I venture without fear.
Well, Susano, I never played Divinity, so I don't know actually what to expect from it. I have no idea.
For coin or for cause, I fight to the end.
So again, to be clear, Wildlight Entertainment is a self-published studio from the makers, the people that created Apex Legends and Titanfall. So one thing Jeff Keighley was really hyping up about this is the fact that this was a self-published studio.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not. I like
Yo,
to be liked.
Smeg, you got
Enjoy
Seabrew
being
with the
liked.
gifted. That's freaking awesome. Love Seabrew. I see him in a lot of different chats. Smeg, thank you for the gifted, buddy. Appreciate it. It's not a sequel to Original Sin 2. I don't know, Remy. I don't know what the entire Divinity storyline, how it all connects, how the timeline and universe and all that shit works. I just don't know. Smeg with another gifted, dude. I don't think you got a notification for that one, but I appreciate the hell out of you, dude, man. That's awesome. Oh, you got Sally. Love Sally. Looks like a mobile game from 2014. Graphics look like crap. It just looks weird. I played all the Divinity games, own them all. I do like the original Sin ones better than the others. Hooray, I'm helping.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not. I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked. I have to be liked.
Hooray, I'm helping.
Oh, I appreciate you, dude. You're awesome. Hey, Sally, welcome in. No, Smeg is a legend. Let's see. It got Prime billing right before the game of the year. Yeah, it's... All right, Mahendra, no worries. Looks like a Fort game to me. There's a lot of weird stuff about this. KOTOR team got wiped out because they were a feminist mess. No news is good news in my opinion. Visser Matt, that's fair. I actually, I can agree with you on a lot of that. Get ready for my stream after yours. Gonna react to all the game trailers. Gonna skip the Divinity one. That's disgusting. So we're gonna watch the Divinity one, and I'm gonna be very curious to see if the stream gets demonetized after I go off stream. Because the Divinity one is really freaking... I'm sure all you guys have watched it already. I was surprised at how hard that trailer went. They resurrected feminist frequency. Oh my God. What? What are you talking about? Yo, no way. Wait, does it still have two I was gonna say two dykes and a dude, but I don't think they were lesbians. They have 60 views on YouTube. Hey now. Stop it. I have essentially what is a dead channel right now, so I'm very sensitive about YouTube views, okay? I can't get more than 200 views on a video right now, so just stop it, okay? It's a hard world out there. It's the way you need to make a trailer, at least to get someone like me hyped it up to pre-order a game. I mean, that's fair, Susano. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, there's a sex scene. They kill a guy with fire. It's a video game video, but YouTube AI is getting weird right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, I might have to skip past that part. Demonic. So the term demonic, that's the thing, is a lot of stuff gets called demonic. I'm okay with demonic things being portrayed as evil, provided that again, demon's the bad guy in the game or the movie or whatever. The only thing that I have a problem with in the trailer is I'm worried that it goes too hard to the point where if I play it, I'm going to be in trouble. That's the issue. So I'm not sure I can even... I'm not sure if I can play it, so we'll have to just kind of see what I decide when I get there. Okay, so Geek, I had thoughts about that too. I had thoughts about that too. A lot of times, and I'm not a horror film guy, but a lot of times what they'll do with, again, horror films and stuff is they normalize deviant behavior in a setting full of people that are not engaging in it. So, for example... Oh God, what was that Summer whatever movie that chick from the new Black Widow chick was in, where basically they're burning people alive and everyone just like out in the field thinking it's totally normal. I think that's what they're going for, is like almost that cult-like mentality where people just normalize things that they wouldn't otherwise. It's weird, it's creepy. I absolutely understand people being like, that's just messed up. But if that's what they're going for, then I understand the choice that they made. Is it gross? Absolutely. I'm not going to say it isn't. Let me see here. Diesel Knights, suddenly rendered for the first time in dazzling full color. Join us now for these treacherous tales. 6v6 mech movement shooter. Ooh. Yo, that's Titanfall 3, 100%. Damn, I might pull the trailer up for that later on. Dude, thanks for sending me that. That's awesome. Midsummer, thank you. Yeah. It's not quite that. All I know is if they were trying to create the, I don't know. The way I look at it is if you are the good guys and you're engaging in a situation like that, where, like they said, you have a mother and a child watching some guy getting burned alive and people over here are having sex and this guy's over here with like this demon-looking elf vomiting and pigs are eating it. Clearly, these aren't the good guys, I'd imagine, right? Well, I didn't watch the movie, Susano. I know a couple of the famous scenes out of it. That's about it. Director or something who claimed that in order for horror to work, the characters have to be idiots or something. So, yeah, again, I'm not the biggest horror guy, so you'd have to talk to somebody else besides that. But a lot of times what you do have in movies is in horror films, people don't make rational decisions, and quite often they make decisions that you wouldn't make in real life, you would hope. But anyways, we'll get to that eventually. Oh yeah, no, 100%. There always has been. Yeah, those tropes. Yep. Well, if you think about it, I'm just gonna turn this down. If you think about it, movies, like a lot of slasher films, have always revolved around people have sex and they get killed. You're not wrong, Smig. You're not wrong. So this shit right here is like straight out of like Overwatch or Valorant. All right, one thing I will say, they have this chick here with the sword and the midriff shirt and stuff. Not a bad looking character model. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't mind the character model here. So for some generic hero shooter slop, I mean, at least the characters look decent. It's fine they have artistic freedom. I just don't find suitable for a gaming ceremony to show it unless they had a warning. Geek, that was the one thing I was curious about. Like, I know it's not like a kids event. There were plenty of trailers that had like, you know, lots of language and gore and stuff in them. But that trailer, it shocked the crap out of me because I was actually like, whoa, like I've got it on my phone. I don't have it on my computer. My kids aren't seeing it. I got my earbuds in. I'm just listening to it. And I'm watching this trailer going, oh shit. Like, muscle mommy. Yeah, but not muscle mommy in like a really gross lesbian way. You know, not in like a butch way, at least. Not my, it still has a nice looking face and stuff. So kids are 100% watching the Game Awards. Yeah, so Evil Dead 2 in particular, because they're really comedies called horror. Mm. But I mean, like, this character here, I hate everything about him. The haircut, the cape, all of it, I hate it all. I just don't want to sound like JDA. Oh man, I'll tell you if you ever start sounding like JDA, okay? I don't know. Is it too soon to say dead on arrival? I mean, is it too soon? Yeah, I don't like that character. I think he looks stupid.
I am a warden, and this is my oath.
This just looks like generic. He reminds me of the Paragons from Guild Wars, but the Paragons were cooler, had better looking armor, but kind of that metrosexual, effeminate male. Like, I'm a warrior, but I'm gonna stand back because I'm not really tough enough to go hand to hand with somebody, so I'm just gonna throw spears and stuff. No. Looks like trash. Yeah. Oh no, it's a free to play game, guys. This is more live service slop. Doesn't look cool. Fantasy with guns, basically, yeah. Yeah, no, Vernum, I like certain pieces of it, but I'm just like, it looks empty, right? Looks like Dota and League spend 90% of the game. Guys, this comes out in January. Here's the crazy thing about this. This isn't a game that's in development. This isn't a game that's in its alpha state. This isn't a game that's going to beta. This game comes out in less than 2 months. January 26th, I'm pretty sure is when it said. Nothing here makes me want to play it. Absolutely, this is not going to be on my list of games I want to play. Yeah, it's a Paragon. Well, I don't know if there's a game called Paragon, but this character here from Guild Wars, they had a character class called a Paragon. I loved playing him. He was like a support warrior, but he wasn't like your tank. He wasn't your hand-to-hand fighter, you know? Disney make Titanfall 3? Trust me, I know, but it's never going to happen. You're saying DOA Black Cat? We'll see. I just don't know. It's coming next month. This game's going to die. It's crazy. Okay, here's the thing. Some games can do the shadow drop thing and work. Silk Song, they shadow dropped and it did phenomenal. They did the same thing with the remake of crap. Why can't I think of the name? My brain is so fried, guys. This has been just like the longest day ever. Not Morrowind. The one that they just released this year. Elder Scrolls game. Shit, what's the name of that one? You guys know what I'm talking about. They did the shadow drop, and 2 days later, the game had lots of players playing it on, Bethesda game, Oblivion. The one I never played in the original state, and then I played the remake, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine with it, whatever. I didn't play Oblivion. Like, for me, I never really got into the Elder Scrolls games aside from Morrowind. I sunk hundreds of hours into Morrowind, and then I left the franchise completely. I couldn't remember Oblivion. No, not Oblivion. Oblivion's not even here. I don't know where Oblivion is. Oh shit, I forgot to tell everyone on Discord that I was live. Well, you know what? If you're on Discord and you didn't see the notification, that's on you. Yeah. So there are games that can do the shadow drop thing, and because of word of mouth and people have been looking forward to it, all of a sudden it's this instant success, makes lots of money. This game is not going to be one of those games, and they kept this game secret for 4 years. Why? Why this game would you keep secret for 4 years? I just don't understand. Where is he, Avernum? I didn't tell everybody on Discord that I was live. I have a notification thing on the app that tells, it's like 10 minutes after I go live, it puts up a little notification. They like it when I say, hey, at everyone, I'm live, but I forgot to do that, so they'll be playing Fortnite because the Kim Kardashian skin, oh my god. Respawn promoted Apex Legends during the Super Bowl and dropped it a few days later. Yes, but Visser, that was what, 5 years ago? We're in an entirely different world, entirely different economy, entirely different, digital virtual economy with games than we were when Apex Legends came out. When Apex Legends came out, that game was unique. It was different. It was gritty. The gunplay was awesome. The characters didn't have all the cringe Fortnite skins and all the hollow sprays and all the dances and the pride flags and all that shit. It was completely different. And it basically got all the Titanfall 2 players to try live service, free-to-play battle royale type games. So that was a different world than we're living in now, Right. Any game that's been in development for the last 4 years is suspect, 100%. Exactly. So that's kind of how I feel about this one. So Legacy Killa says, he's quoting Jeff Keighley here. I've waited my entire life to tell you about this free-to-play generic hero shooter made in secrecy by a few devs that used to work at that iconic game studio that you used to like. It's the honor of a lifetime. This will blow your mind. The power of gaming. Here's Magic Sherbang. Oh my god. No, Averno, I'm talking about on Discord specifically, though. So I've got a bot that notifies everyone when I upload a video or I go live on Discord. But it doesn't, at everyone, so... I mean, Equilibrium, it describes it perfectly, right? It pretty much... Yeah. Streamers were hyping it up? Well, there you go. Okay. All right. So here's an exciting one. A lot of people are actually feeling really positive about this one. This is from the original game director of Knights of the Old Republic. Hey, Stream Hub Shop, are you a bot or a person over there on Kick? Equilibrium, you left Kick and now there might be an actual person over there. All right, here we go. Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic official announcement trailer. Let's go and end the poll and see where we ended up at. Most people gave the Game Awards a B. Second most with a fail at 29%. See, I gave it a C. Gaming PR has also evolved. That's true. You failed it? Aw, damn. Hey, Vernum, that's like way more tech savvy than I have the ability to do. It is a female protagonist. Has the name Star Wars in it, it's over. So, this one here, I'm still going to be cautious about, guys. For all the same reasons as anything Star Wars related. Especially with female protagonists. Star Wars is kind of a dead franchise. There's been so much damage to it. You've got the little sidekicks there, so that's going to be worrisome. However, it's got the guy from Knights of the Old Republic in charge of it. So, I mean, maybe. Which studio is it? I don't know. Somebody could look it up, though. It's from Casey Hudson, again, the guy who did the original KOTOR games. They just did a female protagonist. It's not Rey. It's better that you're not a fan if you're playing the games. They're not really canon to the movies. I can separate the two. Because again, for me personally, I grew up reading all the extended universe books and they were decanonized. So I can look at it and go, I'm just going to take the parts that I really enjoy and say, screw it, this is better anyways. You guys scared him. Yeah, not that the movies are canon to the other movies. This is the one. This is the one that I am actually hyped about. Now, you guys, I'm sure some of you have heard me say it before. I'm not a big fan of racing games, okay? Mario Kart, I'll play with my kid. That's about the extent of it. I love, and I've played F-Zero. I've played, Forza and stuff. Not really my thing. I just don't care. I'm not a big car guy. I loved F-Zero, and I loved Pod Racer, despite hating Episode 1 with a passion. And I will never change my opinion, guys. Episode 1 Star Wars is still a dog shit movie. I don't care how bad the sequels were. Episode 1 is still a bad movie. But the Pod Racer game was fantastic. This right here, I'm excited about. Star Wars Galactic Racer. This feels like Pod Racer 2, okay?
I want it back.
Wipeout games? No.
The way it was.
Need for Speed was good.
Massive engines. Lightning fast. Lives on the line. The pilots were incredible. Best of the best. United by one.
Oh, the games all did. Republic Commando was a great game. Now this is... Stop quoting the movie. Okay, we can forget the movie exists. It's not impossible. I beat the whole game. Yeah, I had it on GameCube. I hate sand. And look, I get it. There's no gameplay in this at all. I understand that. For this one, I don't care. Brought to you by Windows 11 AI. Don't even get me started on Republic Commando. I was hoping that EA grows a couple brain cells and get Respawn to make Rainbow Six Siege like sequel for Republic Commando. You know, Republic Commando wasn't a perfect game, but it was really satisfying. It was really... yeah, I know I'm back. I unplugged the microphone and plugged it back in. Guys, I tell you, Windows 11 is so awful. So terrible. I just realized I got the volume turned way down low. Not that there's been anything that's needed to be had the volume turned up. Best team tactical shooter. It was a great game, but this one here, I am hoping captures what Pod Racer had. Yeah, Susano, I shouldn't have. I really shouldn't have. All right, Phantom Blade Zero. I'm hopeful for this game. Looks really good. I'm a little worried because of so many of the games that we've seen just kind of coming out one after the other. Is it going to be another clone of another clone of another clone of a good game, or is it going to be something unique? The gameplay looks really great. Looks phenomenal. Stop limping around, get some Bacta. Yeah, no, dude, the Pod Racer game, loved it. All right, so here we go. Can we get rid of the closed captions? Turn those off? Thank you. To give middle finger single player style games? Maybe. Dude, this right here is so awesome. One-handed with the baby. I wish I could do that. It's Phantom Blade Zero. Chud game. Yeah.
No one goes near that place, at least not anymore.
The first clip I saw earlier this year looked really, really good. I think that was back Summer Games Fest or maybe beforehand. A lot of the ads were straight fire. Yeah. Except this one shows gameplay. That's the great part.
Never breaks so easily.
Where Winds Meet also starts out like this.
But
See,
why did you come back?
Where Winds Meet, for me, I don't know. I'm not really like drawn in by the trailer. This, the combat looks so good. I mean, this is beyond satisfying right here. And it's probably Souls-like. Oh no, it's not Souls-like. What was the name? I can't remember. His live service mid, but overhyped by Asmund because he got paid. See, that's what I'm worried about with it, you know?
Please, take it.
Kingsfield, thank you.
The girl's nothing but a shell now. She'll never be the same.
You broke my blade.
Drunken Ninja here.
We broke your spirit.
Phantom is movement. Striking from where none expect.
Visser, I hope that's true. Because that is the right way to do it. I mean, these fights just look so good.
Blade is breath. We channel it into steel, turning any blade into a divine weapon.
Crap, I forgot. I didn't grab Lords of the Fallen too. Lords of the Fallen has a new trailer. Yeah, we did see some of this prior, some of the one of the boss fights. Yeah, DB, it's a combination of factors. It looks like Wukong and Wu Chang. See, I didn't find Wu Chang as enjoyable as Wukong. I loved Wukong, but Wu Chang I just couldn't get into. No, a lot of them do look the same. This one to me looks a lot more unique than Wu Chang. I think I played like 2 hours of Wu Chang and I uninstalled it. Not that it was bad, I just didn't care. I don't know. I did the same thing with Wo Long, although Wo Long I tried about 8 hours or so, and after about 8 hours I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Wo Long was just so many, like, I don't want to say too many boss fights after the other, but let's grab Lords of the Fallen real quick here. Yeah. Forgot that there was a trailer for Lords of the Fallen 2. It wasn't the difficulty geek, I just didn't care. Wu Chang is harder than Black Myth? Okay. Why don't we say DMC like? Well, that's the thing, DB. So I was just thinking First Berserker is another one of those games that has been compared to Souls-like games, but people say that First Berserker and Black Myth are like more DMC-like than Souls-like. This is that conversation that always happens where it's just like we're muddying the waters by using the same terms over and over again, you know? Let me see. Main Souls-like mechanic is the experience cashing in. Right. Or campfires, bonfires.
Say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Oh look, leftover assets from Ghost of Yote lol open mouth smile. Just kidding. That game looks cool.
Yeah, no, it is the anti-Ghost of Yote. Thanks for the 5, Lucy. I appreciate you, buddy. It is the anti-Ghost of Yote. You know, the borderline white adjacent male protagonist. Final boss of Kazan broke me. I never got there. I never I think I played about 20 something hours of that game, but I never got there. I got to the boss that is the Dragonkin guy, and holy shit, I was gonna go back and play him again at one point because I only played him once. It was like the end of a stream or whatever, and that thing was gnarly, dude. Definitely gave up on it. Yeah, for me, it wasn't so much like, oh, this game is too hard. I just didn't really get into it. I don't know. I just couldn't quite. Yeah. All right, so here is Lords of the Fallen 2. Now, I'm going to say right now, I have been very critical of the fact that, first off, Lords of the Fallen, the first game, another game that I've tried. It's still installed on my computer. I tried a couple times to play it and get into it. I feel like it's just kind of a Dark Souls ripoff, just a knockoff. I mean, it's a good game fundamentally on its own. It's fine. If Dark Souls or Elden Ring had never existed, it'd probably be a much better game in my opinion. But Marek Tominsky, CI Games, he's been very anti-woke, which is cool. That's fine. I've worried that it's been more rhetoric to try to sell his game than actually trying to make a great game. So I'm cautiously optimistic about the sequel. I will say the trailer for the sequel looks pretty pretty good. They fixed the first one, right? It's a better game now. No, I'm not saying it's not a good game. I've worried that people who do that and jump on that train are just trying to like sell something, right? The sequel trailer does look really good. So let me pull this up here. Tank Rat, yeah, I saw that. I just didn't really care so much about that one.
Lamp bearer. One must travel
Right, Avernum, that's kind of how I felt. Now, if he's still making good games, then it doesn't matter.
on the road to salvation. Paths through light. Paths through shadow.
Yeah, that part got kind of annoying, Visser, I'm not gonna lie.
Wherever they may lead, no matter the cost.
Kind of a strange music choice in my opinion. I'm feeling I'm back in place to make Souls like Riot. Might get copyright claims. Yeah, you're not wrong. I might just have to erase the song from this part of the stream. Wouldn't be the first time. Pretty much every stream there's something I have to erase the audio on. This right here is a very satisfying like kill. Not gonna lie, that one's pretty awesome. Didn't help they didn't make the game be what it was and switch the engine. Yeah, that's never a good thing. I will say I'm definitely more excited about Mortal Shell 2. I don't remember when the release date is for that game. Mortal Shell 2, I'm like, please, I need it. I need it so bad. I loved Mortal Shell, though. Mortal Shell was one that was an acquired taste. I know a lot of people didn't care for it. But I'm all over Mortal Shell. They're also nerfing players and taking actions against players. So, yeah, we have the Divinity trailer next. And I'm 50-50 on the fence about whether or not we're going to watch it. What else? Oh, we had Tomb Raider. Let's do Tomb Raider and Diablo 4, and then I'll make up my mind about Divinity. Because Divinity had this whole Hellstone thing that they put in the desert, and there was all this controversy over it, like, where did this come from, and what does this mean? And it's like, guys, it's promote a video game. Like, come on. I'm confused by these games. The highest the numbering goes is 2, but we have like 4 games. Oh, Lords of the Fallen is because they rebooted the franchise. So yes, there were Lords of the Fallen games from like 10, 15 years ago. It was like an actual reboot of the entire franchise. They're enjoying what it became after the patches were all in place. Yeah, I mean, the game's fine. It's kind of like Wu Chang. The game is fine for what it is. I don't ever want people to base whether or not they want to play a game off my opinion, because there are plenty of games that, for whatever reason, for me, just don't appeal to me, right? So it is what it is. I didn't see anything that would force a strike. All right, well, we'll do that one towards the end of the stream, because if I have to like clip that part out, that'll be easier to do. Let's go ahead and do... I'm curious about this one, guys. I'm curious about the reaction on this one, because I know the whole Lara Croft thing with her redesign recently has been a very contentious topic. People saying she's either not hot enough or ugly or whatever. And I agree that they've been trying to de-emphasize Lara Croft's assets for a long time. And the funny thing is, I personally don't care about Tomb Raider as a franchise. I've never owned a Tomb Raider game and I never will. I just don't care. But it is ironic that the same people that think she needs to be like toned down a bit are freaking out about this one, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a second. All right, so here is the new Lara Croft. There's 2. There's a Catalyst, which I think is a remake of the first one, or is this the one that's a standalone game? One of these trailers is for a game that's an actual remake. Didn't they get obliterated off the planet? I think so. Looks like the OG character model modernized. Right, so it looks actually a little bit... new Lara looks fine. People are saying she's not busty enough. I would like her to be a little more busty, DB, but again, I think this one actually looks better than I've been thinking in the past. So let's just play the trailer here. For me, it was surprising that I thought she looked good, you know.
Your legend. You survived the Dragon's Triangle.
Bring back the triangle boobs.
Cross the threshold to Atlantis.
It's the new one. Okay, Legacy of Atlantis is the remake. Got it.
Tales that say you're unstoppable.
But correct me if I'm wrong, they're using the same character model for both. Crystal Dynamics earned my apathy years ago. Yeah. If you play prior games, you know what they're pulling from.
But I say, all legends must come to
That cat is still asleep.
swear you're wrong. I'm just getting started.
Oh, there's a dinosaur part in this one. I mean, the character is attractive. It's a pretty looking character. Nothing wrong with that. Right, hey, Vernum, she almost looks Latina. Some people were saying she looks Indian. Kind of like that Indian-British kind of look. All right, so this isn't the remake. Legacy of Atlantis is what it's called. Here we go. She has on caked on makeup. All right, let's see here. There was one of them that showed her better. I think it was this one. So excited for Lara.
But the events are still etched in my memory.
We'll see, Visser. I've never really played Tomb Raider. I've never cared for the franchise. I'm looking at this objectively. At least isn't Bella Ramsey looking? No, the character model looks pretty, but it seems that they made her almost look more ethnic, which is strange because she's supposed to be what, English? So this is kind of I don't know. It's like if you were looking at it just as a woman, you would have no problem with this. I wouldn't, for sure. I'm just looking at it as the character, and I'm like, it just doesn't seem to fit the character, in my opinion.
New discoveries.
Fun and kind of silly, right? Exactly.
Every door.
At least she has her costume? Yeah.
Every chasm.
Kendall Jenner. Oh, I know, Smeg, I know.
I didn't know then.
But I said English, not British.
Adventure
English.
sent me on. The titlet of fire
She just Max Payne that, didn't she?
that still burns. I need to see more.
No, Empress, it's that she doesn't have that traditional, almost pasty British look, or the English look, you know? It's clear they changed the story up a bit.
Some legends are destined to be retold.
Even worse, go see London now. Well, I'm not talking about modern London. Although, to be fair, they did have Angelina Jolie play Lara Croft, and isn't she actually like half black or something? I know her dad's John Voight. Who is Angelina Jolie's mom? Oh, but the funny thing, though, so previous to this trailer actually getting released, people were having a lot of conversations about it. I think the biggest issue, this is the problem, I think. I think this right here, she's now a big booty hot Latina. See, I'm not the only one who thinks that she looks a little bit more ethnic than she did before. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying in general, I don't think she looks the same as she did before. This one looks better than the other one. So I think it's a matter of style. Like, again, you take something where it's more of a cartoony looking character and then you make it more, not hyper realistic, but you know what I'm saying. It's more of a realistic human looking face and body and all that. I think that's what a lot of people are missing when it comes to the actual design of the character. And it's not that the character is ugly. There's nothing about the character that's unattractive, you know? Let's see here. She's an overly nice lady in real life. We're talking about Angelina Jolie? Laura always looked like she was out in the sun. Oh, sure. I'm hang on. I gotta get checked up. Or let me see. Wish I Clucked the Wolves that they showed them. Sorry, Susano. I've missed a bunch of your comments. They made her bland. I think she looks better in the remake than she does in the new one. But we didn't see as much of her in the new one. I think the remake, she actually looks really good. Whether she fits the style, it's different, you know? We don't need to complain about every single thing. No, I agree with that. I just look at it and go, I think the design of the character, the problem is that it's like, okay, for example, if you tried to make a realistic Mario game, why has Mario always looked the same? This is more, I think, what the issue is for a lot of people. Mario looks cartoony. Lara Croft with her proportions, always was going to look better, more cartoony than more realistic. Because if once you get to a certain point with realism, no one's going to expect it to be realistic to have some woman with giant knockers running through the forest, climbing and spelunking and diving and doing combat and backflips and, you know, rappelling and stuff across like mountains and all that. So when you have it look a little bit less realistic, it's easier to say it's a video game, right? So I do think that there's a certain amount of it where people go, it looks better on the left because it's not, the style is just less realistic, right? But Lara's white. No, I understand the argument about the fact that she's out in the sun. There's 100%, yes, your skin darkens in the sun no matter how white you are. Even my white ass gets darker in the sun. Problem is we have been at war with the morons who own this IP, and they've been fans of the new garbage to fight with. Well, okay, so here is the funniest part, guys. Here's the funniest part. So all the controversy on this side about is she hot enough? Is she got big enough boobs? Is she not white enough? Is she too white? Is she too... Okay. But you get to this person here, who I believe is she's a host and producer. I know that she has been on stage with some of the guys from Kind of Funny. I'm pretty sure that's where I've seen her before. Stella, Parastella, I have no idea. I know I've seen clips with this woman talking, thinking she's funny. She goes, "Woof, this new design for Lara Croft is really jarring. I joked that she looks like those anti-woke face-tuned photos of make gaming characters hot again, but I don't know if it's a joke anymore. What you mean she's fighting for her life and has a thick set of false eyelashes?" So now you've got people on the other side of things complaining that she's too hot. She looks like she's been led by a Tomb Raider, not the Tomb Raider. Likes a courier too. Can't call me racist because the English loves a courier. Not trying to boink a video game character. No, that goes back to my previous statement. I'm not expecting every video game character, and this is why I've said this has been the part of like this joke about make gaming characters hot again, where it's like a lot of times when you leave it up to AI, it gives you a character that not only doesn't fit the setting, but it just looks ridiculous, right? This has been my biggest complaint because, for example, Lords of the Fallen 2, Marek Dominski, he puts these polls out there on Twitter and goes, would you rather have a hot woman video game character or blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, well, if it's a gothic, you know, dystopian setting where it's like Dark Souls, like I don't want my character to be hot. I just don't want my woman to look like a man. Like that's about the extent of it, you know? And what if she is hot? You can mod it out. I'm sure Nexus will not delete those. 100%. Stella comments are why many IPs have died. Yeah. Isn't a Lara Croft fan? Mute her and keep making stuff people want. I might try to boink the cosplayer. Tomb Raider's always been hot British. Yeah, no, she always has been. So again, like I said, I don't think it's a matter of too hot, not hot enough, whatever. I just think it comes down to a style. As a character, as a woman, I think that this character here looks great. I have no problem with the face, the hair, the makeup, all of it. I think it looks like a good character. I just don't personally think it looks or resembles the style that Tomb Raider was. And that could just be the fact that they're making it more realistic, and that's just going to be something people have to either decide if they want to play or not. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. What does Melanie Max say about it? Dude, Avernum, I don't follow her on YouTube. I don't subscribe to any of her channels. And as I'm going through trying to find gameplay trailers and stuff for tonight's stream, I keep getting recommended Melanie Max stream, and I'm like, stop it. Like, I don't want this. She just make her look like Liv Hurley. Liv Hurley? Who the hell's... You mean Elizabeth Hurley? Elizabeth Hurley could never be Tomb Raider, but I see where you're going with that. Look at old Lara games, and you'll see that she looks just like now, but the old graphics, just compare. Yeah. I do wish the boobs were a little bit bigger. But again, it wouldn't make sense in the context of the video game, because the video game now looks more realistic. It's not that I'm complaining about the way the character looks necessarily. I don't like the style. I think just like how Mario should always look like imagine a Mario game where it's realistic. Okay, that would be terrifying. Think about Goombas, but realistic, right? Making the same argument, just less pointy tatas. Every time. Dude, as a guy, I get the whole tan line thing on a woman, but as a guy, I also hate having tan lines. Because as a guy, if you have that summer tan line thing where it's not just like a farmer tan, but if you went out without a shirt on, but then like you go inside to get a shower and you got this pale white ass and this like tan chest, it's a really strange look. Haven't heard from Melanie in a long time. That's a good thing. Well, no, she protected her posts on Twitter, so thank God I don't have to see any of her hot takes on Twitter anymore. Although, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Razor Fist apparently recently blocked Carl Benjamin. Like, WTF. All right, let's go ahead and play the Diablo 4 trailer. And I know that there was somebody, I think it was Quagmire on Discord, was excited about this because they put Paladins back in. No, she never left Twitter. She just protected her account. Yeah, we saw real Goombas from that crap Mario back in the day. That's my point. I'm not saying that the Lara Croft game is going to be bad. I'm not saying the character looks bad as a character. I just think people are expecting a certain style, and unfortunately they've, changed the style of the game to the point where it no longer resembles the character people used to know. Guys, think about it this way. Legend of Zelda has had so many different art styles, but the characters have always looked like Link and Zelda because they've never tried to go too realistic with it. The minute they go super realistic with that game series, it's not going to look the same anymore, right? That's all I'm saying about like the whole Lara Croft thing. I think as a conversation about art style, there's a conversation to be had there. That people are expecting something that looks more like Lara Croft from the originals. Obviously not the triangle boobs. Yeah, that's cartoony as hell. Throwing a wet blanket on her. It's not a trailer, it's a cinematic. Blizzard can't make games anymore. Okay, but Visser, can I be honest about something? Blizzard cinematics are really cool. Like, for me, half the fun of playing Diablo 2 and 3 was the cinematics were awesome. Wait, did Diablo 2 have cinematics? I feel like it did. I just can't remember which ones were 2 and which ones were 3. The cinematics from 3 were really cool. Like, really freaking cool. Let me see. She popped off on some gacha game for being Goonerbait and then got eviscerated. Yeah, First Descendant. Yeah, she called First Descendants pornography. And then Razor Fist came to her defense. And then John De La Rose tried to come to her defense. And then she's like, I don't know who you are. The start of D2 has a cinematic. Okay. Okay, but wait, I never played Diablo 1. I played Diablos 2, 3, and I think maybe downloaded 4 and never got around to playing it. No, the cinematics from 3 were really good. All right, so here's the trailer for Diablo 4.
Enough. With every celebration of hubris, your hatred grows. Look around would-be heroes.
Warcraft doesn't? Oh, that's sad.
Executives. You, how far would you...
Obviously, this is just cringe, involve the audience thing. I'm gonna skip ahead because this is retarded. There we go. You don't do sequels? Oh, Diablo 2 was a fantastic computer game. That game was, like, legendary. Yeah, he made fun of the host. I know, but I just... They did the same thing. They did the same thing with Miss Piggy, and I got to be where it was just too much cringe. And I had to suffer through like all 3.5 hours of it. Why is Mephisto an Asian man? Let me see. Lara was always meant to be realistic, but the old games didn't allow that since 2006 and on, Lara was always realistic as the technology allowed. Her look now is a natural evolution. So in the image that I shared before from that Twitter post where it had the side-by-side, the one on the left, what era Lara Croft was that? What Tomb Raider game was that from? Does anybody know? Where it still looked like, again, the more like the classic Lara Croft, but it was smoothed out. Everything was more rounded. It wasn't triangle boobs anymore. Just curious. Lugia, its name is Money. Okay. Oh, it wasn't from any game? Okay. No, I don't think D2 was the standard, but it was a phenomenal game. And this right here, I'm just like, yes. This is one of those trailers where you know you can't do anything in the trailer in the game, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Empress, I've been there before. That's rough. If this is an ARPG, it's going to be better fit if done right. So this is just a DLC or expansion, I guess, onto Diablo 4. I need to check out Diablo 4. It's on Game Pass. I still have Game Pass for a little while. I should check it out. Using lightning against Mephisto, what a noob. But it looks cool, man. It looks cool. Oh, you were talking about a different game. Okay. Wouldn't say D2 is gold standard. Where was that comment at? WoW cinematics were so good. Yeah, I forget that they had a lot of cinematics in World of Warcraft, didn't they? Diablo CCP edition. If it was CCP edition, Mephisto wouldn't be an Asian man. At least I would imagine he wouldn't be. And maybe if he's a Japanese man, I don't know. Well, yeah, but you'd have to use some sort of like ice magic against him because, you know, fire and ice and all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna practice restraint, and I'm not gonna play the Divinity trailer. Just on the safe side, and only mainly because YouTube has been on some shit lately. I don't know if you guys have seen. There was a YouTuber who lost their channel or had a channel strike because they were holding like what looked like a kitchen utensil in their hand. And YouTube's AI decided that it was a weapon. And they got a strike or a suspension on their channel. I know we've talked about before all the stuff going on with Cody Dennison, Camelot, his channel getting demonetized where he, chargebacks up to like $10,000 where he has to pay YouTube back. People losing their channels over all sorts of retarded shit, so... It's not just a YouTuber that lost their channel over that. Yeah, the YouTube AI is on some shit, guys. Mephisto and D2 with dual shield, barbarian filled with topaz gems is bashing him until he died. Nice. I'm trying to remember which class I played in D2 because I only played through the game one time all the way. Yeah, no, Susanna, I know. It's been every day I'm opening up Twitter and it's something. Every day it's something new that somebody's losing their channel, that some crazy shit's going on. Oh, he switched sides. He's sleeping the other way now. Oh my god. Tucker, buddy. Yeah, look at the size of this monster. This cat is huge. Oh, thanks, DB Wild. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would say the trailer, if you like the game, it's definitely worth checking out. And if you're not squeamish, I've already, like, in the last few weeks, I've unfortunately stumbled across things on Twitter like some Mexican cartel setting some guy on fire to prove a point, I guess, and that was gruesome enough. Obviously, one's real and one's fiction, but it's like, I've already had my share of people getting flambéed for a while. I'm good. Then, of course, you see something about, like, somebody getting lit on fire in the subway or whatnot. It's like, yeah, this is a lot of... I'm a pyromaniac, but even I have my limits, you know. Garfield would be jealous. We've thought about calling him Garfield before. This cat is so fat, and he thinks with his stomach. But he's not just fat. Oh my god, I can't even move the chair because it's stuck on the rug. They also struck one of my friends last week for showing news that was on YouTube already. Played a Zeal Paladin first. It wasn't as fun as the Barbarian, but it worked. Fell in love with the game. Besides the Paladin being unveiled, there's also a second class coming, but the Heradric Cube returns as well as Lilith 2, which is pretty wild. Dude, that's crazy. Wow. All right, well, I'm going to hit the hay, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging. And I won't be streaming tomorrow night. We might do something this weekend. And if not, back on Monday. Oh, no, crap, guys, no stream Monday. Monday is my mom's birthday, and I just found out we're doing like a late birthday dinner. So I imagine I probably won't be home in time to do a stream Monday. So maybe we'll try to do something. Oh no, Sunday I've got stuff with friends. Maybe Saturday. Maybe we'll shoot for something on Saturday. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. I love having these discussions because I like getting different opinions on stuff. And Mrs. Well, that'd be more like grandma and I know it's my mom, not my grandma, but yeah. No, she's getting closer to 70 every year. It's like the closer I get to 40, the closer she gets to 70. It's crazy. Maybe stream on Tuesday. We could do that. Take a Monday off and do it on Tuesday instead. No worries, Susano. Most of the stream chat doesn't get saved anyways. My channel, I've been so shadow banned the last 6 months. It's not even funny. A lot of times on the actual like VOD for my channel, you can't even see the chat because YouTube zaps it. You know. Time is weird. Time is a very weird thing. All right, we'll do Empress. I'll get that all set up. The realization of age as we grow is scary. Well, and the crazy thing is I'm the youngest of all my siblings. And so even though my mom didn't have me super late in life, my mom was almost 30 by the time she had me. So, you know, one of those things where as she gets older, it's just like I'm never going to catch up, obviously, but those significant birthday numbers for me is even worse for her. So anyways, guys, yeah, so we will do is I will shoot for doing maybe a weekend stream if I can figure it out. And then next week we won't be on Monday. It will definitely be probably Tuesday at the earliest, just because I'm not going to be able to hey Empress, I'm not finding you. Oh, there you are. Okay. All right, I got the redirect all set up. I'm going to hit the hey guys. You guys can all head over to Empress's stream if you want. You can either wait and do it with the raid or just head there directly. And in the meantime, I'm going to get some sleep. Yeah, we all die eventually. Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging. I will catch you guys later.